Welcome to Unlock the Day. I'm Warren Leaf, founder of unlocktheday.com. Thanks for being here today. On today's episode, we are going to talk about dealing with disappointment. And in particular, we're going to talk about 11 steps to get you to a healthier and more productive approach when dealing with disappointment. So let's talk about dealing with disappointment. The reality is dealing with disappointment is a part of life that we all have to face. Whether it's a setback at work, a failed relationship, or a dream that didn't come true to fruition, disappointment can leave you feeling deflated. It can leave you frustrated and even questioning your worth. However, it is possible to navigate these feelings in a healthier and more productive way, and we're going to go over the steps to do that. So step number one, accept your feelings. The reality is disappointment hurts, but it's important not to ignore or mask these feelings with negative coping mechanisms. A lot of people will turn to drugs, they'll turn to alcohol, they'll turn to food, they'll turn to things that aren't healthy for them to try to mask the feeling of disappointment. Instead, we need to accept our feelings and allow ourselves to process these emotions in a healthier way. Step two, understand you are not a disappointment. I think for a lot of people, they think by not succeeding, they're disappointing. If they aren't in their minds doing everything exactly the right way, they're feeling disappointment. Experiencing a setback or making a mistake does not equate to being a disappointment or a failure. Some of the most successful people in the world have faced setbacks, disappointments, failures, but they've used these experiences to learn from them and use them as stepping stones to their success. So remember, it's really important to understand that concept. Make it a learning experience, right? So disappointment can be a great teacher. As failure can be a great teacher, so can disappointment. Instead of getting lost in the negative emotions, try to see your disappointment as a learning experience that you can help yourself grow and to avoid the mistakes that you've made in the past so that you don't do them again in the future. Everything we do, we need to turn into a learning experience so that it really kind of builds our mind to move in a more positive direction, to have a more positive mindset. Again, what I talk about all the time is being intentional, being disciplined, and being consistent. And the same thing when dealing with disappointment, you have to get your mindset past being what you consider a disappointment, turn into a learning tool. One of the biggest things that I can't stress enough is the importance of moving out of your comfort zone. When you feel disappointment, you really huddle back inside of your comfort zone. It's a safe place to feel, but it really, really limits your growth, and it really keeps you back from learning and just experiencing life in general. So I know for a lot of people, moving back into their comfort zone is where they go after disappointment. But it's really, really important to take that time and kind of broaden yourself out. Understand that it's going to be okay and you're going to move yourself forward. If you've watched my episodes before, you understand and you know how important gratitude is to me. I start every day with a gratitude list. I end every day with a gratitude list. There's so much to be grateful for. And when disappointment strikes, it's easy to lose really sight of everything that's around you. By practicing gratitude, by being grateful for those simple things, it helps to reframe your mind and helps you get back into a more positive step. So when you're struggling, if you had a failure, if you had some disappointment in your life, go back to gratitude. And for me, what's most important is don't just say it in your head, write it down, because when you read those words back, it actually amplifies the importance of them in your mind. So gratitude is very important. Writing it down is even more important. When you're feeling disappointed, a lot of times we kind of, again, like the comfort zone, we go back within ourselves and we keep that all to ourselves. And that just adds more burden. When you're going through something that's been a disappointment to you, or if you're disappointed in a relationship, your job, whatever it happens to be, Make sure you're reaching out. Make sure you're getting help from family, friends, coworkers, whoever is there to help you and talk to you. It's really important that you kind of go outside of your bounds and express what you're feeling. Get other opinions from other people. Let them help guide you past where you currently are. For me personally, taking a break is really important. When I'm going through something that's a real struggle, when my mind isn't just able to get me through or past a situation, I change my environment. And I think changing your environment is really a very important thing. Whether it's I'm really blessed to live by the water, so I can go and walk by the beach. I can just take a walk around my neighborhood or drive in the car. Change the environment that you're in. Allow your mind to calm down and clear your thoughts. Having clear thoughts, having a clear mind is really a great troubleshooting tool, and it's really a way to get you past where you currently are. We talked about comfort zone. We talked about pulling yourself back in, getting outside of your head, getting outside of those negative thoughts is really what it comes down to. It's really so important is getting out of your own head. Excuse me, really just being able to stop thinking about what it is that you're thinking about that's dragging you down. What was that disappointment? What was the root cause of that disappointment? When we think beyond that, when we think about the bigger picture, it helps us really understand what the end goal is, right? Kind of refocus our mind, repurpose our agenda, and just moving ourselves forward. We're going to get into future episodes about disappointment, especially when it comes to relationships. But for today, it's more of a generic discussion about disappointment in general. When we're dealing with disappointment, just as we deal with many things, that first step forward is so critical to get you moving yourself ahead, right? So you've been disappointed by something, you've moved yourself inward, you're kind of feeling down, and you're to some degree feeling sorry for yourself because this has happened to me. We need to move ourselves forward, and by taking that first step forward, which is the hardest first step of anything we do, taking that first step forward is so important because you're automatically reframing your mind to say, okay, time to move forward, time to put the pity party behind me, and I need to get myself going. That first step, and for so many of us, it's that procrastination. We just say, you know what? Here's a reason why I can't do it. Here's another reason why I can't do it. Today's not the right day. I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm going to wait till I'm going to get through the weekend. I'll address it on Monday. The reality is you need to start today. You need to start right now. And as you're doing that, you need to take time to think about, who am I? Who am I as a person? Building your self-esteem back up is really important when you're dealing with disappointment. You know everything you offer. You know everything that you bring to the table. You know all of the positives that you have around you. But when you're dealing with disappointment, they all kind of get shuttered. They all kind of get masked over. So getting back in your head, getting that self-esteem back up is really important. So take the time, make yourself a priority. It's for some people, it's whatever works for you from a self-care perspective, whether, like I said, for me, it's going for a walk, it's getting outdoors. For some people, it could be going to the gym. It could be getting a massage, whatever is going to help you to kind of reframe yourself and reframe your mind. That's really where you need to focus. And then lastly, what I want to talk about is self-acceptance. One of the things that really impacts the impact of disappointment is that we lose our self-esteem. We lose, and then oftentimes we're comparing ourselves to others, right? Oh, I'm such a disappointment because Joe has this great job, or Joe and Sally went on this great vacation, and here I am just sitting here and I can't get out of my own way. Which it's very, very important to understand self-acceptance. You are who you are. You're working to make yourself better, but stop comparing yourself to other people, because the moment you start comparing yourself to other people, it just adds to that disappointment. That it adds to that, not only the disappointment, but then you start questioning everything about yourself. Accept who you are, focus on who you are, and move yourself forward. That is the key to moving out of disappointment and moving yourself to a more positive mindset and attitude. Tomorrow we're going to continue our conversations, but for today, thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Check out the website, unlocktheday.com. Have a great day.